Tonight, a time to remember. From New York to the Pentagon to Pennsylvania, Americans take time to honor lives lost on 9/11. And those ceremonies stretch all the way to Montana.
Malmstrom Air Force Base held their 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony. Coming up, I'll have details from the event.
To see somebody's life taken like that, to leave behind a wife and kids, to see the school shootings of what happened, to see that kind of destruction and death, like that just breaks my heart.
And later, how one Montana man is remembering the life of slain political activist Charlie Kirk.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening and thanks for trusting KRTV for your 530 News. I'm Tim McGonigal. Well, today marks the anniversary of one of the darkest days in American history, September 11th, 2001. Ceremonies to honor the event were held across the nation and here in Montana. At a 9/11 remembrance ceremony in the Capitol Rotunda today, first responders were joined by other law enforcement and government officials, including Governor Greg Gianforte and First Lady Susan Gianforte.
I love that Montana, even though so distanced from the events in D.C. and Pennsylvania and New York, that we still here in Montana have a high level of pride for the firefighters and the law enforcement folks and the military, that we're still talking about it, and that matters.
In Great Falls, airmen at Malmstrom Air Force Base marked the moment the Twin Towers fell with a ceremony of remembrance. MTN's Madison Collier reports from the base.
It's been 24 years since September 11th, 2001, a day that forever changed the course of our nation and continues to shape the lives of those who wear the uniform. At Malmstrom Air Force Base, airmen gathered at the fire station to remember the nearly 3,000 lives lost and to honor the sacrifices made in the days and years that followed.
Courage, hope, unity. Remember the firefighters, police officers, and paramedics, and the citizens who ran toward the danger while others fled.
Gathered, sitting shoulder to shoulder as the weight of the morning settled in for the attendees, during a prayer, a moment of silence, and the ringing of the ceremonial bell to honor the lives lost.
For those who have raised their right hand since that day, the weight of 9/11 is personal. It reminds us why we serve. It reminds us that freedom is never free. It reminds us when our nation is challenged, we rise together. From
New York to the Pentagon to a field in Pennsylvania, the stories of courage remain etched in our nation's memory. Here, airmen pause each year, not just to look back, but to carry the promise forward that the lives lost on September 11th will never be forgotten. As the flag waves here at Malmstrom, the message is clear. Even 24 years later, America still remembers. At Malmstrom Air Force Base, Madison Collier, MTN News.
On the High Line, veterans climbed aboard motorcycles to escort first responders to a ceremony at Town Square in Havre. MTN's Justin Robichaud was there for the event.
It's been 24 years since the Twin Towers were taken out in New York City from a terrorist attack. The Havre American Legion Riders hosted a memorial service to remember 9/11.
It's such an awesome event every single year. We can never forget what happened.
September 11th holds deep meaning, a day for remembrance, as well as honoring victims and heroes. Featured speaker David Zimmer served in the National Guard and was in New York City that solemn day.
We pulled up in an old Deuce and a Half, if you remember those. They were just god-awful trucks, reliable, but we ran water, masks, and a bunch of other medical supplies down to the World Trade Center, Ground Zero.
Zimmer says the devastation that day changed his perspective on life.
The carnage was unexplainable. To see the extraordinary destruction is unfathomable. So it forever changed my thoughts and feelings on a few things.
For Hill County Sheriff Jamie Ross, 9/11 ceremonies are important to remember and honor the 3,000 victims of this terrorist attack.
One thing that I think about is there are adults now that weren't even alive when this occurred, and I think it's good to remind them what happened so we don't let it happen again.
In Havre, Justin Robichaux, MTN News.
There have been scattered showers and thunderstorms around throughout the day today in western, southern, and eastern Montana. In central and north central Montana, most of today has been dry, but there have been a few showers and thunderstorms out there. We're seeing some of that precipitation right now along and just east of the Continental Divide. There's a few light showers out across the plains. Then we have a few stronger thunderstorms impacting northeastern Valley County and western Daniels County. Temperatures right now range from the mid-60s to the low 80s. Most of us are currently in the 70s, so it does feel pretty nice outside. These temperatures are about 5 to 15 degrees cooler than the temperatures were yesterday at this time. Some more scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for tomorrow and Saturdays. An upper level trough will continue to be in control of our weather. Sunday will be the sunnier and drier day of the weekend. And for the next several days, high temperatures will be in the 70s and low 80s in most spots. Now we'll have a full look at tomorrow's forecast and this weekend's forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, many are still mourning yesterday's death of Charlie Kirk. The political activist was scheduled to speak at Montana State University next month. MTN's Cassidy Powers learns one Bozeman man is organizing a memorial for Kirk and other recent victims of crime.
A school shooting that has left 2 critically injured and the death of a well-known conservative political activist, all in one day. These tragedies have left the nation with heavy hearts and a sense of conflict. But while we can feel separated, one man is working to bring people back together.
It was just kind of a gut punch of just like, this is terrible. It continues to happen. Nobody deserves to have their life taken.
Wyatt Rabel was born and raised in the Gallatin Valley. A business owner, former swing dance teacher, and avid outdoorsman, Wyatt loves this community and hopes to be a part of it for the rest of his life, even though
I'm not much of one to post or be political.
But when Wyatt read the news Wednesday afternoon, something changed for him.
I've felt many times in the past that I'm not doing as much as I could, and so it just kind of dawned on me that now's the time.
On Wednesday, September 10th, Charlie Kirk, a well-known conservative activist, was speaking at Utah Valley University, one of many stops on his national tour. A crowd of hundreds gathered to listen to Kirk speak, but at around 12:20, a shot was fired. Charlie Kirk was killed. Moments later, one state away, a student of Evergreen High School in Colorado opened fire using a revolver. At least 2 students left in critical condition. The suspect shooter later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
To see somebody's life taken like that, to leave behind a wife and kids, to see the school shootings of what happened, just to see that kind of destruction and death, like that just breaks my heart.
Which is why Wyatt created a post and shared it with a Facebook group. His words read,
"Let's pray for our nation, the families of the victims of the school shootings, Charlie Kirk's family, the families of everyone who has lost loved ones to tragedy lately. If you're sad or down or feeling the weight of the world, let's gather and pray."
Wyatt's Facebook post has gotten mixed comments and has been deleted a number of times, but Wyatt keeps posting. He's reached out to family and community members in an effort to bring people together.
It'd be great if 10 people come. I'll be happy if one person comes.
Thursday night, 6 p.m. at Kirk Park, Wyatt is calling anyone who is feeling heavy-hearted after recent tragedies to be there for your fellow community members.
When we get together and pray tonight, it's not political. It's not for what I think or what you think. It's, hey, this is suffering and it's wrong, and let's bond over that.
In Bozeman, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.
A Montana legislator knew Charlie Kirk personally. Braxton Mitchell represents Columbia Falls in the Montana House of Representatives. He's also an ambassador for Turning Point USA, Kirk's organization. He joined Turning Point in 2019 just as he was getting into politics after high school. In a phone call with MTN, Mitchell says he was devastated about Kirk's death while also worried about what it means for politics in America.
Charlie was a fighter. You know, he was a guy that was, a man of faith, personal conviction. Again, at a loss of words for what happened, and I hope this doesn't set a precedent in our country where, whether you're on the left or the right, that violence and murder should be the answer to disagreement in politics. I mean, this has got to stop.
And I'm taking this as our opportunity to lead again for what the future children's museums need to look like.
Ahead, sparking an interest in learning, a new home, new leadership, and new exhibits. An update on the Children's Museum of Montana.
From From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. As we've reported, the Children's Museum of Montana is moving, and it has a new home. It also has new leadership and even a new name. MTN's Quentin Shores has more on the changes.
Sparks Children's Museum of Montana, a Great Falls icon, has been in the process of moving buildings for a while now. And with the new executive director, we finally have an update.
It's been really exciting since I got here. One of the things I was so happy to hear is that I get to be here at the start of what is going to be, I feel, for the Children's Museum, a refresh period.
Jackie Worstel, a Montana native, has been in the executive director position at Sparks for a couple months now. She says that revamping the exhibits that people know and love is a top priority, along with introducing some new ones.
I mean, we want to definitely remove kids from the screen in some way, but still keep them engaged to that level of where kids are at now. So I think it kind of lends us both those opportunities.
Jackie says the children of today are not the same as the ones the museum was entertaining 20 years ago, and as a result, a different level of engagement is required.
And I'm taking this as our opportunity to lead again for what the future children's museums need to look like.
The new building, a mere 10-minute walk from the old one, recently got a $111,000 grant to make an entirely ADA accessible museum, and the new address on 2nd Avenue seemed like prime real estate. Much work is needed, but the museum is slated for an early 2026 opening.
And they did like the idea of not having levels to make it a little easier for parents to watch if they have more than one child here.
The museum is scheduling fundraising campaigns, and if you want more information on how you can support them, you can go to the link on our website. In Great Falls, I'm Quentin Shores, MTN News.